bear man. There ain't no bear man. That's a folk tale, a metaphor for man's anxiety over his place in nature.
You may not be familiar with the Afro Samurai anime, so here's what you need to know if you want to get the most out of the video game. You're a badass swordsman with big badass hair, and you slice up all sorts of ninja types en route to avenging your father's death. And you're voiced by certified badass Samuel L. Jackson.
He sacrificed himself to show you what it means to be truly alone.
The game does a credible job of making you feel talented with that blade, what with some solid combat mechanics and incredibly gory slow-motion slicing. It's all a bit clunky, it doesn't have the fluidity or tightness of Ninja Gaiden or Devil May Cry, but while it doesn't quite rise to current standards, it's got a look and sound that set it apart from your run-of-the-mill button masher. So you possess the number 2 headband, and you've set out to destroy the number 1. If you're a fan, you'll experience events in and out of the anime series, but if you're not, that's okay too. What's important here is the vibe and the humor, a combination of hip-hop culture and Eastern sensibilities. You've got the potty-mouthed character Ninja Ninja aside crisp, cel-shaded environments and hip-hop tinged with Far Eastern harmonies. The atmosphere pulls you through the story, and split-screen sequences in and out of gameplay keep you involved. That cel shading is complemented by amazingly violent-looking combat, and together they hold the biggest part of Afro Samurai's appeal. The scene may be awash with sumptuous colors and soft lighting, but you'll be shedding so much blood the floor will be slick with it. You can go on the offensive with standard moves you've seen before. Light attacks, heavy attacks, and kicks. And you can string all these moves together to kick the living shit out of your various enemies. But if you want to get things really bloody, you enter focus mode. Time slows down, you aim for the body parts that offend you most, and you slice through them like a hot knife through butter. It looks awesome, and it's a lot of fun too. You've got a few other tricks like deflecting bullets and wall running, but these bits don't really mesh with combat. Stuff like wall running can usually only be performed during specific platforming bits. You can't string those acrobatics into combat, though you can do a few flips and whatnot when you're focused. But you wouldn't want to pull these things into the combat anyway. The platforming in Afro Samurai is pretty poor, which makes some longer jumping sequences a big pain. And one of the worst bits is before a boss fight that forces you to do it all again if you lose. This puts a huge burden on the combat since it has to carry all the weight. When the levels keep you moving along, the action is up to the task, almost brilliantly so, particularly in a few set-piece fights like an awesome free-fall battle. However, other levels fall really flat. In one, you spend so much time running around, you'll wonder where the action went. In others, you'll deal with so many waves of cookie-cutter enemies in one spot that you'll long for something to break the tedium. A better flow of enemies, more interesting level design, and fluidly implemented platforming would have added a lot of needed variety. Grossly violent combat and awesome cel-shaded graphics are cool, but they can't always save Afro Samurai from occasional monotony and clunky movement mechanics. There are a few other problems here and there, frame rate jitters, a couple of broken checkpoints, and some camera weirdness, but here's what's important. Afro Samurai can be a load of fun. It's not the next action classic, but you can slice bare-breasted ninjas in half and watch the upper half of their corpses drag themselves along by the arms until they collapse. That's worth the price of admission right there.